July 15th, 2021, we have this twin engine aircraft did an emergency landing into this cornfield. So you can see firefighters got on scene. They had to make access and cut their way through, knock down this cornfield. Two on board, a student and instructor, were okay. And good thing this is very lush green stuff. It's not going to burn. There's no fire or anything to worry about. The aircraft looks in pretty good shape. Here it is here. And there you can see the tail number, November 776 Mike Charlie. And we're going to be going over the NTSB final report for this one here in Easton, Maryland. So here's the FAA digital photograph of the front. So you can see it must still be a rough landing coming through. If it's this thick, I would think it would be pretty harsh coming through here with speed. You can see it caught the prop and bent this whole thing inwards, just cutting through this. But you can see the nose of this. It has the Geronimo conversion from this Piper Apache. So the analysis is during an instructional flight while performing a practice approach to landing stall with the flaps and landing gear extended, the pilot receiving instruction applied full power to both engines at the airframe buffet. While recovering, the left engine lost total power and the left prop feathered uncommanded. At that time, the airspeed was about 57 miles per hour. The airplane immediately rolled about 45 degrees to the left, consistent with a VMC roll. The flight instructor immediately took over, that was good, of the airplane to recover. As he applied a full right rudder, his seat slipped back, which released pressure on the right rudder pedal. The airplane entered a second VMC roll from which he was able to recover again, but the airplane was at an altitude of about 1,100 feet above ground level and a descent about 800 feet per second. The pilot receiving instruction was unable to restart the left engine and the flaps and landing gear remained extended. When the airplane was flying below 700 feet and descending rapidly, both pilots realized that they were not going to reach the airport. The pilot landed with its landing gear and flaps still extended in the cornfield, in which the left wing and fuselage had substantial damage, but they were upright, as we can see here. So back on scene, there's that aircraft. There's that tail number again. I looked into this Geronimo conversion, pretty cool, able to carry more fuel. You can see it has that added dorsal fin, which is different than the Apache. And it has that kind of pointy nose bowl. And it can fly 25 miles per hour faster. And yeah, it's pretty cool that you can soup these things up. And it looks pretty good, in pretty good shape. It looks pretty big too. Pretty solid aircraft. And I'm glad they are okay. Here's the regular Apache, or the flying sweet potato as they call it. Definitely looks different, especially that nose. And it doesn't have that added dorsal fin. But always like learning about aircraft. If you guys are familiar or have flown these Pipers, you can let me know in the comments. But during the post-accident examination of the right front seat, a deformation of the tube seat catch release was noted. That condition, which likely existed at takeoff, prevented one of the two seat catch plungers from extending into the seat track and likely allowed the seat to move back when the flight instructor applied right rudder. So yeah, we've went over a bunch, in the past where possible the seat was moving, they're trying to control the aircraft, and then their seat slides back, and people have died because of this. I'm glad that they were able to, recover, but given the described sequence of events provided by the flight instructor, the seat slipping directly contributed to the second VMC roll and loss of altitude before he was able to recover. With an in-op left engine extension or a retraction of the flaps and landing gear would have been accomplished manually using a hand pump in the cockpit. If the seat slippage had not occurred, it is possible that either pilot would have had time to manually retract the landing gear and flaps, and that the flight instructor could have flown this with a single engine to the diversion airport. So here is some evidence here from the FAA, the right front seat tube catch release, that it's deformed here. And then here's the FlightAware nearing Easton, Maryland. And then here is that airport, Easton Airport. So a lot of green, a lot of open field. Always nice to see that the pilots had options when they were trying to come in and land. And then here's the investigation of that left engine. And then here's the right engine. All in all, the probable cause on this one was a total loss of left engine power and uncommanded feathering of the left propeller for a reason that could not be determined. So again, I thought this was an interesting one. No one was seriously hurt. I learned about the Piper Apache, and I will definitely double check the audio on this one. I know my last video we had some audio issues, so I will be checking on that. And please, if you want to watch more NTSB final reports, you can watch it here. This is Arfan Amkioni. I'll see you guys next time.